Today's Saturday, it's the 7th of June 2025, and we're down on the front in Fuengirola. We've just had a lovely breakfast in a little cafe just up one of the back streets there, and it was really nice. And we just made our way down to the front, and we're just going to have a little walk along the front here in Fuengirola. We're actually right by the port. There's the beach, and the sea does look very calm. I thought as I came down it might be a bit breezy, but it's sort of very, very calm actually. Some people swimming right out there in the distance. But we're going to head down this way. And just as we were walking down, sort of some places started to feel a little bit familiar from our last visit or previous visit when we've been here with Stan and Jeanette. Nice to feel a little bit familiar. And looking at the bars across the road, they're already full. Perhaps people like us just having the breakfast. It's more brunch time than breakfast time. Just have a look, just after 11 o'clock. Just to remind us that we are on the Costa del Sol. And it's living up to its name today. There's McDonald's. It's actually all taped off. A lovely little avenue here. Avenue of palm trees. And these are McDonald's seats. Sitting area for McDonald's. Yes, we've seen these benches all over Fuengirola. They're lovely cast iron type benches, and they're down main streets, lots of them around. Very welcoming. Got to be worth a photo. It's just behind all of these buildings is the marina. Quite big buildings here. Not quite Benidorm, but big. This is Hotel El Puerto. Yeah, they do that well, don't they? They do keep everywhere nice and clean. We've got all of the adverts of things that are on. The Mare Nostrum. The Prodigy. They're famous, aren't they, there? Prodigy. Lionel Richie's famous, I've heard of him. 25th of July, we won't be here for that. The bronze over there. This is Puerto de Fuengirola. Fuengirola.
Jamie.
Lots of advertisements along here. I think we've got a club here that Anita and I will definitely not be visiting. Just looking over there, it's not exactly Puerto Portals, but lots of boats, fishing boat type vessels. Lost Brothers, and it's the second Irish pub we've been past. I haven't been to any. No, I'm not averse to a pint of Guinness. Must be in the Irish Quarter because there's another one down there. Very exposed along this promenade. It's very pretty, but it's very exposed and very hot. Yeah. And there's markings on the floor as though they might have a market or something here. It might just be good, but the temperature. One thing I want to walk along here to, when we get past all of the port stuff, there's a monument I'm quite interested in seeing. I like monuments. Although this it must be a weed shop. See a Hotel Leonardo across there. Yeah. When we come to the fun fair, I remember the fun fair last time, do you remember? We walked past the children's fun fair. Probably not open at this time of the day. It's all part of the port there. We've got the street sellers coming out now. I see that that's becoming more of an issue down by the cathedral. I saw an article in the bulletin today warning people not to buy from them, because it's not just them that can get fined, but you can get fined if you buy things from them. So, keep away, really. If they haven't got a license which they have to display, then in Mallorca anyway, I don't know about here, but in Mallorca it's illegal. They have to have a license, and they have to display the license to sell something. And there's a lot of genuine market stalls, pop-up stalls in Mallorca, and they all do it properly. They show their license. We have some, saw earlier on 3 paragliders, and there's another one coming towards us high up in the heavens. It's where you strap a motor to your back and a parachute to your shoulders, and away you go. This is the fun fair. We did actually see this last time we came. Sold Park. That greenish building over there is the Hotel Leonardo that I mentioned. You see that? How high he is. I can't really video him, he's just too way up there. There's a paraglider. I've also read in the news that Malaga is going to start having the new taxis, flying taxis. And the article I read said that initially they will have someone piloting them, but the plan is for them to become autonomous. So you say where you want to go, you get in, and there's no pilot, there's just you and the craft, and it will take you to wherever you want to go. I'm not sure when the launch is, but it seemed to be imminent. I don't think I would be first. I'd like to see it proven first and make sure it works. Lots of beds here, and they've laid out lots of walkways, wooden decking, so that people can get to them easily. Toilets on the beach, that's important, that's good. Well, I was just thinking as we were walking along that I hadn't heard many English voices, so starting to hear more and more English voices now. I think we might be at the port of Fuengirola, where there are lots of British Irish people. And I think the end where we are, there's a lot less. We're at the opposite end to this one, which suits us very well. Hotel Villa de Laredo.
There's a heart over there. Is that where you're going for?
Oh yes. Guess we've got to have a photo by a heart, haven't we? We've even got exercise machines here on the beach. It's a bit hazy out there today. It's very calm, but it's hazy. And the temperature's going up, so I think it might just get more hazy. Oh, there's the microlight things going back.
Bueno, ahora parece que está saltando un poquillo de brisa, pero...
Cargará cuando encendamos.
Vas a cargar con el coche.
Si solo tiene un freno. Guarantee you when we get
Big beachside cafe here in the Rancho Playa. You want to go to the heart?
Where is it?
Yeah, just halfway along that walkway. Beaches with cushions on. Beaches, sunbeds with cushions on. We're not the sort of people that use them though, so unlikely to find us on one of those. Oh, this is a danger area, so be careful.
vamos corriendo para allá.
Gives us a different view from here. That's the port side. If I swing the camera around, you can see this side. It goes on and on and on. A very long promenade. And this is the heart that we could see. Well, we've just come off the beach. One thing that you see a lot of along here are these boats with piles of wood in, piles of wood outside, and they're actually going to be a barbecue for later on. And here's the beach cleaner that goes along, sifts through the sand, and then can dump all the rubbish in the big bin and some bags there. Found a nice shady spot. Showers there. It's a bit like being in Weymouth. All the faces there, and each of the eyes has actually got a candle in. I bet that looks quite spooky at night time. So the toilets. It's a gastro bar de mar over there, and friend John in Mallorca's told me there's a new gastro bar in Promenade called Emma, which he said was very good. And then another friend said thanks for reminding him about gastro bars. It's not something that's stuck in your stomach, which is very painful. It has to be inserted by a skilled surgeon, which I thought was funny. Going to go over a bridge, which is a torrente. This is where the rain that comes down from the mountains in a storm will come down here. And they make these big wide rivers, and there's no water in it at all now. It's dry as a bone. But the water will come rushing down there and then go out to sea and take all the sand with it. And then it's dry for 6 months. Nothing happens, and so the sand comes back, and we have a beach here again. Got a lifeguard station here, got their own vehicles. And this is the centre that coordinates everything. And they've got a little traffic light system saying it's pretty bad as far as UV is concerned. So make sure you've got your factor 50 on, or you're under your brolly, or in the shade. Sorry? Yeah. to El Presidente. Well, I think I'm almost as far as we want to go, not much further along here. El Palmar. And we've got a cannon here. Wonder where that was found. Just checked on the map, the size of that wall, and I only want to go about 200 meters down here, and then we'll head inland. Well, I've gone as far as I want to go. Hello, 4 stars, right on the beach.
Ya viene la avalancha, más avalancha. Ya nada.
Claro, claro.
The main focus of us coming to Fuengirola this particular weekend is for tonight, actually, and tonight we've got a Masonic Ladies' Night, and the lodge is actually down at this end of Fuengirola. I came to it last year and was able to go to a meeting there, and also to participate in one of the great things that they do, one of the charities that they supported. And I did make a little video of that, and the lodge were most appreciative, but most of all the recipients were most appreciative, and tonight we'll be raising money for that same charity, so I'm sure it's going to do well, and we're both looking forward to it. So that's why we had quite a big breakfast, so we don't need very much lunch because we're out for dinner this evening. Oh, I can now actually see in the distance where I want to go to. That's the monument I want to take a photograph of in the distance. You see?
Yeah.
That's it. So as I guess most of you know, we've been on the island for a very long time. We're not on the island now, of course, we're in Fuengirola, but we arrived in Mallorca in 1985, so this is our 40th anniversary of living in Spain continuously. It's lighting the barbecue there, another one of those boats. And Spain was quite a different place in 1985. In 1985, Spain wasn't part of the European Union or Common Market. I can't remember what exactly it was called in those days. I know it did change its name. And so to come and live in Spain, we had to get visas, and when we got here we had to get a work permit, and we had to get permission to live here. We had to get certificates, had to be approved, and we had to be doing a job which a Spanish person couldn't be doing. And we came over here to be teachers in an English school, teaching British curriculum and English curriculum, and teaching in English. And so, yeah, we did fit in with the criteria for being able to work in Spain. And we had to get a residencia. I had to have medicals, I had to have chest x-rays, I had to have all sorts of things to come and live here. We had to have a certain amount of money in the bank to prove that we could live without being a burden on the Spanish system. I didn't have that money, of course, so the way it was fiddled then was that the school actually gave me a large sum of cash, told me to go to a bank and deposit it, and then get a bank statement to say that the money was in my bank account, take the money out, and then give the large sum of cash back to the school. And that's exactly how I proved that we'd got enough money to live on here. I did have a job and I was getting a monthly salary, and so it really wasn't an issue, but just to get past that particular rule in those days, I really don't think anything like that would be possible now. Lots of things from those days have changed. And one thing that did change, shortly after we arrived, Spain joined the European Union, which the UK was already a member of, and that made life so much easier because from then on we didn't need to have a work permit. We did still need to have a residencia. That all became easier, and people who wanted to come and work in Spain also had it a lot easier. They didn't have to get visas, they didn't have to go through all that rigmarole that we had to go through, and they didn't have to be doing a job that Spanish people could do. Roll on, and now the UK has gone and left the European Union, so pretty much back to that old system. And anyone who wants to come and work here now has to be doing a job that not only a Spanish but a European can't be doing. So now it's opened up to the whole of Europe because they're part of the European Union, and it just makes it that much more difficult. And obviously the money side of things, or everything's gone up significantly. You've got to prove that you have enough money in the bank, and also insurance, which back in the day we had private insurance, and private insurance here was relatively cheap in those days. I don't know what it is now, and so pensioners even could afford to do that. Coming now, I'm not sure pensioners can afford to do that. Well, what's all this leading up to? Well, that's all leading up to this one monument here, and this monument is a monument to the peseta. And when we first came to the island, well, everything was in pesetas. Our rent was in pesetas, our pay was in pesetas, everything was in pesetas. Even up until the time we bought the house that we're living in now, so 2001. Everything was done in pesetas, so we talked about millions of pesetas. Yeah, in those days we were millionaires. And this is the monument to the peseta. I've got to take a photo of it. At home, we've recently found some tins with those coins in, not that big, mind. January 2002, it tells me on the sign there, is when the peseta came out, and we had to change all our pesetas to euros, and it became a bit of an issue for people who had a lot of them. If they got them in cash stored underneath the mattress. That's King Juan Carlos. And so, yeah. Sorry? It's a bit like Charles as well. All part of the same family, aren't they, really? Oh, and there's actually a history of the peseta over here. But of course, the UK, even though they were part of the European Union, didn't actually join the euro. They stayed loyal to the pound, and obviously then whenever we went back to the UK, we had to have pounds, and so it was always a little bit of an issue. And what we used to do is people used to come and visit us, and we used to give them pesetas, or we used to give them euros, and they would give us pounds. So we never actually did this exchange very much with banks. Anyway, we're going to head inland now. And I'm not sure which is the quickest or easiest way to go. through there, cross over, find a little alley to go up. It says Tom's Irish Bars, lots of Irish bars here in Fuengirola, and one of them got a little bit of infamy last weekend when 2 guys were actually shot and killed in one. There we go, look, we've got cycle paths just like Mallorca. There we go. Just walked past a picture of George Best. Oh, we're back in a back street now, and it's a lot cooler. Really much more pleasant. Nice how the trees have been trained to go like that. And it's the same on that side too. We're going to head up here, I think. We found another similar sort of alley. And age concerned charity shop. This area we're in now of Fuengirola is actually Los Baleares.
First stop on the train.
Yeah, just so we get off at the next one, which is called Fuengirola, and then Baleares is the next one. There's the wash place, laundrette.
No le pasa nada. No le pasa nada.
But it's nice and cool, shady, and we just had a little drink of water. And we're going to move on now and find somewhere for coffee, I think. Well, actually just a short walk from the park where we've just been sitting, found a bar, and they serve coffee, and so that's perfect. So cheers everyone. Ready here. Oh, the cup's hot, so I'm not even sure I can drink this. What's this tree?
Beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful tree, that's the one. And the one below is a jacaranda, even I know that one. So yeah, so this is the park where we sat. We've had, I don't know, I think we stayed half an hour here. And then the bar was just next to it, so found a suitable bench and sat in the shade. It's really nice, quiet, lots of birds around, including the parakeets, which we'd seen here before. The parakeets, parrot-like birds. There's a little adult exercise park at that end, and then what I assume is petanque. Boule here, like the sand that they play in. We saw some people and they were playing, but it wasn't petanque, and it was with some wooden sticks, wooden blocks, and they set them all up and then knocked them down and then set them up again. It's quite interesting, but I couldn't work out how they were scoring. Obviously they were scoring points. But a nice little park. Walk that way would be more in the shade, I think. Oh, yes. Seems to be a residential area as well. There's lots of quite nice apartment blocks and nice, architecturally nice, I mean. Boxes, but not your regular sort of boxes. And different sports facilities just across there, including picnic tables. There's a children's play area and some more, I'm sure they are, petanque pitches. This is actually called the Parque Rosario. It's not a huge park, but it's just a nice place for local people to come and sit out in the shelter of the trees. There's quite a lot of water lying around, so things must be well watered here, including the birds. They come to these little puddles and drink from them. Pretty little garden. I guess that's an underground car park. And then a big car park just in front of us. And then houses, regular sorts of houses. We need to go up here. Behind this. I think that's where the flea market was, somewhere up there. I guess it's all overdone with now, so we missed that. We didn't quite make it. Seems to be a police incident here, so I'm going to turn the camera off. Well, this seems to be the police incident. I think somebody spilt some washing up powder or something. Police are there photographing whatever it is. That's the train line there. And we've got to head off in this direction. Oh, there are still some market stalls there. Don't know how long this goes on for. It's referred to as the fairground. Well, there's the train just nipping off towards Fuengirola. I know we're in Fuengirola, but the stop here at this end is called Baleares, and the one we get off is Fuengirola. Oh yes, beautiful magnolias. We saw those in England, so just restricted to Mallorca and Spain. When you read about this flea market, they talk about there being 300 stalls here. I don't know how correct that is. Apologies if it's a bit of a wind noise, but I've taken the dead cat off and I've not put it back on. The wind off, by the way. I'm surprised this is still going on. It's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you want to walk through here or not?
You want to?
Little look. Yeah, maybe just have a quick. Can't really take anything back with us. Might borrow a bike then. Oh. Right. Obviously, lots of people have already packed up and gone, so I don't think we're actually going to go all the way down there. And this is just one of the main streets of it. The whole car park's full. We cut across, go a little bit further up and then cut to the left and come back down. And he's just spotted jewellery, so I'm always going to be interested in that. Oh, you should have one of those calculators. My goodness, always the same. Lisa's father was a surveyor and he had a mechanical calculator, and I acquired, I think I might have had a couple of them, and something always fascinated me. When we moved to Majorca, I don't really know what happened to it. It's disappeared somewhere along the line. I think we're going to cut through here and make our way down, because it's just going to get hotter and hotter as we walk through. It was really just to get a taste of what was here, and maybe if we come again in the winter time in particular, we might try and spend a bit more time here, just remembering that it's on a Saturday morning. And 2 o'clock, which it is now, it's closing time really, which makes sense. Go off for their lunch. So, yeah, mostly second-hand stuff, but a bit of everything. Big scales there. We used to have some little ones. I don't know whatever happened to them. It's another thing that disappeared over the years. Don't think they ever came to Spain. Must have been stored somewhere.
Nice, that wooden motorbike.
Yeah. Morecambe and Wise, my goodness. DVDs of Morecambe and Wise. Brings back memories. To tie my shoelace. Shoelace tied, and we can carry on with the walk. That's what you get for 400,000. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 91 square metres. Unfortunately, no terrace. We came here about a year ago, and they'd been having a drought and all the water features were switched off. Most of them apparently are on again, but there's one that's not. And they're really good, these water features, for helping keep the air cool. But no water restrictions. In fact, they've had masses of rain over the last few months, and reservoirs are replenished, as it were. There's a pharmacy just in front which says the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, and it feels like that. Quite nice. Hot in the sun, but pleasant in the shade. Actually, the one in the shade says 28. It's really when it gets over 30 it starts to, for me anyway, I suppose everyone's a bit different, but when the temperature gets over 30 it starts to feel a little bit more uncomfortable. And 35, well, time to stay inside. But the weather forecasts over here are talking about temperatures going up to 40 and above in the next few days. Another plume of heat coming over, I guess, from the Sahara. Yeah, it's a noisy road we're walking along. And we're 2 or 3 blocks back from the sea now. So We wanted to get some shade. Actually, on the wrong side of the road for the shade. No easy way to cross there. All these people here, but there's a bus stop here.
There's Kitty.
So just noticing in the middle of the road that the train has now disappeared, it's gone underground. And that's what it does before it gets to the Fuengirola train station. The roundabouts here for the cars, they're all nicely presented. Many of them have got different sculptures or obelisks, different things. This one has got some horses and a fountain. Right, to carry on. Pizzeria, doner kebabs. Because we're away from the beach area, find these a lot of the places along here will be places where locals go to eat, to drink, to play and have fun and all those sorts of things. Renta.
We went to that thing.
Just actually spotted a bar that we've been to before, just behind there, Pepper's Bar. Run by some English folk, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. And Anita went there with Jeanette once and had a drink while Stan and I did the donation to the charity here in Fuengirola. And this is actually a charity shop here. Not sure if that wasn't the charity. Euro Weekly, it's a newspaper. We get that in Mallorca too. And lots of these benches just everywhere. There's places you can sit down if you're lucky enough to find one in the shade. It's the Ray-Ban smart glasses. I've been looking at those recently, but I was in one of the airports, probably Gatwick, and a lady came and asked me if I wanted to try a pair on, and I did do, and she said, "Can you hear the music?" I couldn't. I wear hearing aids and I couldn't hear anything at all. She said that was very interesting. Wasn't so much interesting for me though. I'd like to have another go though, to try it again. Menu del Dia, €11.70. Evening menu, $16.90. Oh, we're actually at the station now. This is our regular stop where we get off the train. And if you want to cross over that thing on that side, might be a little bit more shade. And the building in front is the tourist office. There's some quite big building work going on that side. Just right across the road from the Fuengirola railway station, which is, at this point, this is the one we get on, is the one that's underground. The place does a menu del dia. And here it is €11.50. And you got a choice of first course, main course, bread, drink included, €11.50. You can have half a menu if you like, that's only €9.80. We had a rather large lunch, breakfast, brunch. So If we have anything, it'll be something quite light this afternoon before we go out for dinner this evening. There we are. You can see the station there. And if you're going to get a train, you can get a train from here right all the way into Malaga. And it's very simple. Just use a credit card, debit card, tap on, top off. If there's two of you, tap twice. The first one go through, tap again, and that's it. And there's the monument. Yeah. So when we're walking back to the hotel, come out of the station, and if it's at night time, we'll walk on. It doesn't matter because it's dark. But in the daytime, we need to be in the shade, so we'll come perhaps to this side. Anyway, I don't think there's so much of interest on this side that we've not covered in other videos. So I'll switch the camera back on when we get somewhere a bit more interesting. Well, it was about a 10 or 15 minute walk from here, so I thought we need to get a little bit refreshed, so I've actually gone for a beer. So cheers everyone. This one's Cruz Campo. Not bad. And Anita's on the water. Sensible. Cheers. Well, suitably refreshed, and 2 drinks there were $3.70, was it?
Yeah.
So really nice, and we're onward and upward, and we've got about a 10 or 15 minute walk now to get to the hotel. So thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. So bye for now. Bye.
Packed our bags under the sun so high. Mallorca's behind waves, said goodbye. Steve and Anita on a road so bold to Costa del Sol, where stories unfold. We're chasing the breeze with the sand in our hair, laughing out loud without a single care. Spanish sky, living this summer, we'll never say goodbye. Tapas on tables, laughter fills the air, sangria's flowing, the night's a dare. From the beaches to streets where music plays, dancing in the moonlight, losing track of days. We're chasing the breeze with the sand in our hair, laughing out loud without a single care. Friends and good food under the Spanish sky, living this summer, we'll never say goodbye. Golden sunsets paint the evening's glow. Costa del Sol, where time moves slow, sharing stories with the ones we adore. this paradise.